So, hey friends and fam, and welcome back to another video. Let's talk about PvP, yeah? It's about time we tackled that subject a little more in detail. PvP is extremely fun, extremely exciting. It's so fucking fun, you guys. If you're not playing it, you should be. Get your ass in here. Let's have some PvP fun. The only thing about talking about it is it's confusing as hell. So, with that being said, let's talk about the three kinds of teams. Starting off with Accelerator Teams. Now, Accelerator Teams are teams that generally use an accelerator or a move bar buffer. So any Shiki that increases the speed of your other Shiki on your team. Whole point of this is, one, moving first gives you a lot of power, especially in the early levels. So to all you new players out there, if you can, and you are invested in this game, and you have gone down the route of using an accelerator for your PvP team, especially when you're at lower grade playing. So when the grade of your Shiki is low, you definitely want to go first, because you won't have the tank stats to tank the first hit. As you get later into the game, this can switch. So your accelerator teams double pull, single pull into Shuzo, double pull into Sam X, and single pull into Sam X. And then there's whole tons of different kind of variations out there. There's a whole list of Shiki you can be using as an accelerator. That could be a fun video some other time. I'm not gonna do it right now because I can't figure them all out off the top of my head. The whole point of this is to kind of get the first turn in, and then with the first turn try and win the game. So early on you can use this with double pull and it works very well, but as you get later into the higher elos, you want to use it with crowd control. Reason is, once people start building stat tanks and utility on their team, a lot of the time double pull just won't cut it. You're gonna need insane stats. I haven't run into somebody who can beat my current team with a double pull team. Oh, no, I have, actually. But they were really smart about how they played. Most likely you're not going to do. Oh, and they did something pretty cool about it, too. They used Kagura, the little chick, the little girl, Onmyoji. What's her name? Let me find her real fast. They used Kagura, and they gave their DPS a third turn, or second turn, double pull, 2 DPS with Kaguya. Basically you have 3 DPS Shiki, so you can kind of push down some of the tankier teams out there. So anyways, this is what I'm talking about when I say things just start getting like crazy out of hand. So let's go back to double pull teams and accelerator teams. You're moving first, you want to try and take control of the game. Now, how are you going to take control of the game from there on? Either you deal enough damage on the first turn to win the game, or you bring something with enough crowd control to control the game from that point on. So your options for crowd control, I would say your best bet is Sam X. Go for Sam X. He's extremely strong. You're gonna want high effect res on him. Don't be like the guy I ran into Duel last night. He went first, had Sam X. Like, most of my Shiki has effect res because I let them go first. So I'm guessing that the only way I'm gonna lose is crowd control. Use Sam X, have high effect res, and if you are up against a tank team, bring Kagura, and use her to give one of your DPS, preferably a single target Shiki, the chance to go twice when she was only would have gone once. To do that, your DPS will have to be a higher speed than your Kaguya, but oops, keep saying her name wrong, Kagura. But you're gonna have to try and like play with that yourself. So some of the other options you can do for accelerator teams, double pull teams, is just your regular double DPS followed by that. Like I said, crowd control. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm forgetting before I move on to the next section. I'm sure there is. What is it? Nope, it's not coming to me. Let's move on to the counter tank teams. So counter tank teams, basically they use all the characters that have the mechanism of attacking when being attacked, and generally speaking they have low orb count. So you're gonna definitely want Shuzo. Ibisu works well. The doggo, Vamp chick works well. The new snake lady, what's her name? Oko works pretty well. Vamp works pretty well. All these guys are generally pretty good for counter teams. Shootin works really well for a counter team as well. Basically, the whole point of this is you're going to want to let the enemies hit you, and your damage is going to be coming from counter attacks, and it works very well, especially against teams like mine. Teams like mine are very weak against full defensive counter teams, because when it comes to a tank battle, I generally lose. Reason being is I'm somewhere in the middle, and this is what I'm talking about as my final team, or as the final category, which is going to be your tank slash, I don't know, my team is weird. I got a weird as fuck team. Let's take a look at this team right here. Going over what we were talking about earlier, you have my awkward weird team against a typical counter team, using Gara, Kuro, Ibiso, Shuzo, and the raccoon. I can never, Tanuki, I can't remember his name. Ace was nice enough to duel with me. Guy's pretty awesome. But I figured let's throw this in here, talk about the 3 different kind of teams we mentioned, and we were lucky enough that he actually used all of them. So let's roll this. While this runs, I'll try and I'm really bad at this, so I always mess it up, but I'll try and simultaneously talk to you guys about some of the traps that I was talking about, or cool things you can do. So let's break it down. Because it's a counter team versus a regular team, or not even, it's a counter team versus my team, in a sense. My Shuzo has pretty high speed, so once I link up, I know that I'm probably going to be okay. He doesn't know anything about my team at this point, so he's not sure what to do. This is the first time he's run into it ever. So the fact that my Shuzo has a high enough speed, once I link up, I'm pretty confident it'll be okay. Now he's pretty sure, and you'll see him type it in chat too, he thinks my Otengu is damage. He does not know my Otengu is crowd control. And it throws him off his game, basically. But he adapts pretty quickly as well. I didn't have to use Amayona there. I'm not sure why I did. Probably was really tired. Anyway, so this is why, right here is why I personally like running this as well. Both my Shuzo and my Otengu are very high in speed, and having Otengu with crowd control, 1, makes it harder for people to kill my team. 2, getting my crowd control in really throws off the enemy team. Look, 3, 4, all of his Shiki are CC'd by Temptress Otengu. Basically what this lets me do is anybody who doesn't go first and doesn't lock or kill, if you don't kill my Otengu in the first turn, you're going to have a hard time beating me. If you don't kill my Shuzo in the first time, you're going to have a hard time killing me. But those generally aren't the 2 kind of Shiki you want to kill when you run into an enemy. And these are the kind of weird mind games you can play with people when you're in Duel. You know, they see Otengu and they're like, oh, I need to kill Otengu first. So you use him for a different reason than DPS, and you'll probably win. So moving forward a little bit, he ends up losing this one. There's not much you can do against crowd control Tengu. He does not have Amayona to dispel. His healer has been crowd controlled the entire time. He hasn't even gotten a chance to put down his banner. And so we hop into it again. He's bringing a different team this time. This time around, he brings Amayona, looks like, to try and dispel. I thought he was going to bring somebody else. There we go. Okay, so this time around, he brings Amayona and Shisho. Shisho is really good against crowd control. 1, because he has Reflect. Dear boy over here, Bambi. 1, because he has Reflect. He can reflect. He has a 50% chance to reflect a status on the enemy, which actually doesn't proc that often. But he's also extremely hard to crowd control. Paired up with Amayona, who will be slowing us down. I'm guessing his game plan here is to slow our base speed low enough for Shisho to start crowd controlling us back. But another reason why Temptress Otengu is so strong is because Temptress Otengu isn't easy to crowd control. He has an built-in anti-crowd control kind of like mechanism, passive. He is also using Kaguya to give one of his members on his team another turn. I could have swapped my totem, but I did not. I'm pretty sure this one pans out the same way. Let's take a look. What am I doing here? Oh, here's something else that's really cool that I wanted to mention to you guys. I'm so glad that this pulled up just now. Fortune Cat Shishu is so... Wait, am I saying it wrong? Shishu? I don't need people making fun of how I say things more in my Discord. It's getting out of hand. You guys need to stop. Yeah, it's okay. No. Fortune Cat Shishu is insanely cool. I'm going to be making one, and I'm probably going to be using one in the same way he is. First of all, they're extremely tanky. Second of all, his passive gives him a 20% increased move bar anytime your enemy uses a orb. So his Fortune Cat procs all the time because he keeps on getting turns in. So let's go ahead and continue. Oh, his effect res on him is really high as well. I was wondering where he got that effect res, and I mean, he has regular effect res on all of his stuff, and then you go to the 6th slot, and he has a pretty high 15% effect res. It's like, okay, no, I see. So I'm pretty sure the outcome of this goes pretty much the same way. Crowd control Tengu plus kind of like pseudo DPS from my team does pretty much the same thing. Let's see what goes on here. Kind of skip forward a little, just take a look. Yeah, they're still getting CC lockdown. And at this point, he notices that I only have one. First of all, he notices that I'm using Otengu and AO as bait. I don't want him to attack my 2 grade 5 Shiki. They're actually my weakest Shiki on this team. And if you kill either of them, I have a pretty hard time. Because 1, I have Fortune Cat on Ameona, and 2, without Shuzo, without my link, it's a little hard to stay alive. This one goes on for quite a while. So at this point, I've just been like slowly working him down. This is when he realizes that oh, you only have 1 Jizo. So he decides to try his double pull team, and this is what, this is the first team we were talking about. Now, I want you to take a look at his double pull. Oh. Okay, I remember. When he's using his double pull team, he's not targeting either of the Shiki that you're gonna generally want to target first. Now, he's played against this team 3 times, and in the first 2, he figured out how to beat it. Using Sam Protect, he stops my first wave of crowd control on the enemy. The fact that he's using Otengu means that I can't crowd control him back easily. He uses Yodo to take out, he uses an Excel plus Yodo to take out my Shuzo first, because 1, she's running Tree Nymph, so she doesn't have a defensive soul set, meaning if you target her as a grade 5, she'll easily die. Oops, that was weird. Razor, thank you, Razor. Yeah, and at this point I just lose. There's nothing I can do from here on out. People usually want to target the SSR first. Just kind of like keep that in mind next time you run into somebody who's doing some weird crazy shit like Jizo shooting. You see that a lot in Jizo Shisho. Putting Jizo on characters you know that they're going to target first when you know you're not going first generally is kind of like a pretty cool tactic. Anyways, so he goes ahead and beats me on the 3rd try, but it was great playing against him. It was a lot of fun. Huge blast. I was really happy that I got the time to play against the legend, the one and only Ace. So there's still tons of things that I haven't even began to touch up on when it comes to PvP, but we're slowly going to work through them together. Hopefully by the end of this, you guys will all be awesome PvP masters of God, power, and everything awesome. Some of the cool things that I've seen are like Double Shisho. Lemon has a pretty cool team. If you ever see him around, you can ask him about his team. What I'll do is from now on I'll record my duels and I'll try and edit out the cool fights I run into and throw them together into a video for you guys. as well as hopefully next time go over some of the souls you can be using and your soul setups. As always, let me know down in the comment section below what kind of team you're using, what kind of things have you run into, and actually, I said earlier, if you guys want to record anything, just hit me up and you can send it to me via Google Drive. I'll do you one better. If you want to try your luck out against either of my PvP teams, let me know. We can duel. I'll record it. We can make something fun out of it. As always, have a great day, you guys, and I'll see you in game.